Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. I had a request for a recipe for gumbo. So we're going to make chicken gumbo. And what I've already done is I've used a small fryer, whole fryer, put it in the pressure cooker. So I've got probably 2.5 cups of chicken, and I've already got it cut up and picked off the bone. So gumbo, of course, is a New Orleans thing. It really is a Louisiana thing. And what the thing you start out with is what they call the Trinity, which is onion, celery, and green bell pepper. So the first thing we're going to do is saute that. And I've got just a little bit of oil in here. Putting in, that's probably 2.5 cups of celery, 2.5 cups of rough chopped onions, and that's about 2 cups of green bell pepper. So we're going to get those going. And that is from my stash in the freezer. They were previously frozen. So we're just going to saute those and get them somewhat done. So I've got my burner up on, let's go ahead and turn it up to medium high and get that all going there. Alright, so at the same time, in another skillet over here, we're going to fix what they call a roux. And all that is oil or some kind of fat and flour. So I'm going to go ahead and use a 1/2 cup of flour in here. Actually, it's more than a 1/2 cup, more like 2.5. I mean, like 3/4 of a cup. And we're going to brown this. And we want it good and brown, not burned, but we want it brown. So I'm going to stir that with. Okay. So you want equal amounts of oil and flour. And this is all-purpose flour. So, and I can already tell I'm going to need probably a little more flour. Do it. Alright, so traditionally, of course, they will thicken gumbo with a product called, and I'm not pronouncing this right, I know it's spelled F-I-L-E. Now, I don't have any because I haven't made gumbo in probably a good 3 years. But anyway, it's what it is the root of sassafras all ground up, and it's white. And I'm not sure I could even find it now where I shop. Probably I'd have to go to Columbia to find it. But anyway, that's what they use. And they also use the flour and brown it and make what they call a roux. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sauteing these vegetables and get this roux good and brown, and we'll be back. Alright, I switched my burner to this other side of the cooktop. You see how brown that is? In order to get it brown like that without it being burned, you have to stir it almost constantly once it first starts getting brown. So we've got the burner off and just letting it sit here. Now the vegetables are almost done. The onions are all translucent. So what I'm going to do now is just dump a 14-ounce can of stewed tomatoes, and this is Aldi brand. I'm just going to dump those in. Stir that around a bit. Alright, now to this, I'm going to add back my stock that I cooked the chicken in. So this is right at probably 3.5 to 4 cups. I'm going to add that in. And we're going to bring this back to a boil and let everything finish cooking in this pot. Now I've already got my rice is probably almost done. I've also got some little apples back here on this back burner that I cooked. I used some brown sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. I actually got too much cinnamon in them, but that'll be all right. And then I think what we're going to have is a salad with this, and of course French bread. You have to have French bread with gumbo, right? Now, you can fix any kind of gumbo you want. I particularly like shrimp gumbo. I also like crawfish gumbo. It's really good. And let's see, chicken and any kind of shrimp or whatever. And I don't know, you could probably use pork too. Now, one of the things that they do in New Orleans is they put that, it's a French sausage, and I'll see if I pronounce this right. I think they call it andouille, and you can get it, of course, in New Orleans, but you sure can't get it here, not that I know of. You could probably order it online, but they always put that in the gumbo too. I don't have any of that, and probably if I did, I wouldn't put it in there anyway. I'm just going to use the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and dump my chicken in. That's from a fryer, a very small fryer. And we're going to let all this come back to a boil. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and put my spices in my roux here. Now, this is 2.5 cups of frozen okra, and that's going to go in here, but I don't want to put it in right now. I want to wait till everything is 100% cooked, because the okra doesn't take that long when you put it in there. Alright, so back to the roux. So what I'm going to add is some New Orleans Cajun spices. And that's got, let's just tell you what it's got in it. It's got garlic, spices, salt, paprika, and red pepper. So we're just going to go ahead and dump some of that in. Actually, probably about a good tablespoon in there. And I'm going to put in some more garlic, just regular garlic powder. Right much. Probably, I don't know, probably a tablespoon. I like a lot of garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and put in, even though that spice already has paprika in it, I'm going to put some more. Now this is cooled down a bit. It's not like steaming hot here. And I'm going to put just a teeny bit of chili powder, just because. Maybe, I don't know, half a teaspoon. You won't know it's there, but it definitely adds to the taste. Now, on the parsley, I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, because I do not have any fresh, over here in with the chicken and the vegetables. I'm just going to dump that in. So about 2 tablespoons. And that's it. Now the next thing I need to do is put some salt in. And it's going to take right much salt too. So probably a good 2 teaspoons, maybe more. It would be to whatever your taste dictates. Alright, so we're waiting for this to come back up to a boil, and maybe this pot to cook for maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And once it gets up and gets, finished cooking, we're going to dump the roux in and see where we are then. Now I'm going to mix up all my spices right in that roux. And we're just going to leave it sitting here. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get the French bread sliced, and the rice is already done. And I want to cook some of those little French green beans. Wait, I'll show you. These that you get at Aldi, they're extra fine green beans. They're real little, and we just absolutely love them. So what I thought I would do is cook some of them, and then I'm going to actually let them cool and put them on top of a salad and put a little maybe vinegar and oil on them. So, all right, so let me get all this stuff going, and we'll be back. All right, this mixture has been cooking for about, I guess, 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put about 2.5 cups of okra right on top. It's frozen, so it'll take this just a few minutes to get done, and that's going to help thicken the liquid also. So I'm just going to put the lid back on it, another 10 minutes or so, and we'll be back. Okay, I have steamed these little beans from Aldi. Now they come from France. That's where they're grown. They're a product of France. So I steamed them for in just a teeny bit of water for about 6 minutes. Then I immediately dumped that water out, put some cold water on them, and then I dumped that out and put a little more cold water and some ice cubes to cool them down really fast so they'll still have a little bit of a crunch. I'm going to add some garlic powder to them. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of light olive oil, and this is actually going to be also the salad dressing because I'm going to put these over some of that baby lettuce. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar, not much, just a little bit. And now I'll just kind of mix this up. Let them get all coated. Now they're very cold, and I want to keep them cold, so I'm going to just cover them and put them in the refrigerator. Now we're almost ready. I've got to add the roux to this gumbo mixture, and I'm going to do that in just a minute because I think the okra is pretty well done. So we'll be right back. All right, the okra is all done now. Stir that around a bit, and the liquid has been reduced a little bit. So now we're going to add the roux. Now I don't want it too thick, but I also don't want it too thin. So we're going to add this in now. That's where all my spices are. I did add a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of the Cajun spice as I was cooking the okra. Alright, so we don't want to get all that out of there. So gumbo should, have a brown look to it. Alright, now we want to stir that around so it's going to probably get thick pretty quick. And we might need to add some water to it. And this will stick, which is exactly why I don't add the roux until the very end. Alright, it's going to be pretty thick. Let me get some water. Just adding some filtered water to that. That looks about right. And it smells about right. So I'm going to taste of this and just make sure it's salty enough. All I really want to do is taste of the liquid here. Cool it down. It's too hot. Okay. I think it's absolutely perfect. So we're just going to let this simmer on the lowest burner setting for maybe another 5 minutes or so until my French bread gets good and hot, and we'll be back. Actually, we'll be back and I'll show you this on the plate because this is ready really. All right, we'll be back. Okay, y'all, we are ready to eat. Here's our salad. This is just the baby greens with those French beans. They come from France, and I just cooked them about 6 minutes or steamed them, and then I put them in ice water to cool them down. So they've got a little garlic, salt, and vinegar, and a little bit of olive oil. And there's the chicken gumbo. Of course, we're serving that with French bread, and we've got some apples, which I put more cinnamon in than I normally do. There it is. There's Mr. Bucky's plate right there, and there's my plate. And what y'all hear in the background is the Masters, because Mr. Bucky finished his work early today, and he came in so he could watch the Masters. So I guess he'll be watching that for the next, I don't know, Friday, Saturday, and then I think it ends on Sunday. So that's what he'll be doing when he finishes his work each day, except for Sunday. Then he'll watch it as soon as he gets home from church and it comes on. All right, so there it is. We're going to go ahead and eat, and we will see y'all next time. Now, let me just say this on the gumbo. Most recipes tell you to cook it for, an hour or so, and have the roux already in it and everything, but my experience is it sticks and you have to keep stirring it. So I just prefer to fix it my way. All right, y'all, so we will see y'all next time. Bye for now.